Hey guys, this is Nelson. Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I'm having a wonderful day. So I want to talk about this new feature that just came out in Adobe Photoshop, and I've been hearing a lot of buzz about it. And I watched a few videos, and people have been saying it's a game changer and it's a killer feature, etc., etc. And my particular viewpoint on it is just that it's just another feature, another tool that you could add to your creative toolkit. And today, during this video, what I'm gonna walk you guys through is pretty much how I foresee how I will use this feature, just like any other tool within Photoshop. And quite frankly, Adobe had to do this, right? So I mean, if they didn't do this, they would be, left behind. So they have to innovate just like any other software company. So it's not surprising that this feature is in here. Like I said, I think they just had to do it. That being said, let's talk about how I will be using it. So my view is twofold. This is really about skill and resources from my perspective, right? So when I'm looking at this more like, what resources do I have to basically do a photo shoot, or what I don't have in terms of resources? And then in terms of skill, what kind of skill do I have to execute a particular photo shoot? So on this particular photo shoot, this photo that you're looking at here, one of the things that we didn't have and we wanted was a crown, like a feathered crown that would have been on top of the subject's head. And yeah, so we did this shoot in Vegas, and traveling from North Carolina to Vegas with a crown and with all the other stuff that we had going on it wasn't gonna happen. So what I'm trying to do here with this new tool is to see if I could create a crown, something that I wasn't able to do on the day of the photo shoot. Okay, so let's get into it. So the way this works is that when you select a particular area that you want to impact, so I'm going to select here the lasso tool, and I'm going to just simply select around the subject's head because that's the area that I want to impact. So let's just select around her head, and I'm going to select a wide area here. Actually, let me just redo that because I just realized I caught her fingertips there and I don't want to do that. So let's do that one more time. So all I want is to select her head and a wide area because I want the crown to fill in that area that I just selected. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is simply click on Generative, Fill, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in a few words here about what exactly I want. Now, a good little tip here, guys, is that if you are struggling with prompts, which I was trying to figure out because initially I was typing in like crown into the prompt and I was getting garbage results and it wasn't really great. It wasn't great at all. So what I decided to do was I went on Pinterest, and on Pinterest I started to look for the crowns that I was going to actually use on the day of the photo shoot, but I just couldn't get because of the fact, of resources, either money or, traveling with it. It just wasn't possible, okay? So what I did, I copied and pasted some descriptions from Pinterest. The only wording that I really changed was gold because obviously what she has here is all gold, so I added gold to the wording here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit generate, and we're going to see what it produces. I played with this earlier, and I do have a safe selection that I like, but every time that I do this, it comes out with different options. Now, some of the options looks okay. You know, this, you know, gives me the vibe of like Vegas Girl or something like that. It doesn't really give me a vibe of like, you know, what we were going for on this photo shoot. Now it does give you like 3 different options. This is the second option. This one is okay, and this one is not that bad. This one is not that bad, to be honest. This one looks like and it looks like it fits the theme. But let's see if it could give us anything better. So I'm just gonna click here, generate one more time. And again, this is about, for me, like I said, resource and skill. The skill I have, but it would take me a long time to basically put something like this together, and especially match the light in, match the color, etc. So this tool does that really, really well by integrating, this composite essentially into your image and matching the light in and the color really, really well automatically. The only thing that it doesn't really do really well is when it comes to like hands and feet and stuff like that, and I think faces as well. It doesn't handle that really well at all. But let's see what the additional options we have here. That looks okay. You know, some of these things is a little bit gimmicky, right? And it's not exactly what I was going for. I did save one earlier that I did like, so let me show you that really quick. So this one I saved. This one I liked for this particular image. Now you can certainly do more. You could add more to this image, but my whole thinking is that I captured the image that I want, how I wanted it, but there was only one thing that was missing, and the missing thing I just didn't have the time, the resource to do. So if I was to redo this image from scratch, I would have definitely utilized this tool to help add this headpiece to this image to finish it. Okay, so this is one image. So in this particular case, let's just say you got the perfect pose, you got the perfect image, you got the perfect expression, and you got what you believe is the perfect composition. However, when you send it to the client, and the client is like, hey, I love everything about this image and I want to put it on my website, but I want it horizontal. I don't want a vertical. And you'd be like, oh man, okay, let me see if I have any other images that's horizontal that have like the same type of pose, same type of expression, etc. And you may or may not have that. But with this particular tool, what you could do is say, you know what, no problem. Let me go ahead and create that horizontal image for you. So if I use my crop tool here and I decide to expand my canvas just a little bit, and I decide to use here the selection. So all I need to do is select just a little piece of that image, which I find fascinating how this does this. So we hit generative, and then we're gonna hit generate again. We're not gonna put in any prompts. So we're gonna hit generate again. And this does an amazing job of filling in information that is not even there. And if I had to do this manually, it would have taken me a long time. Now, I could see here, this is not so great, and I could see here that it repeat some of this information here. Because you could, I mean, it's in the background, so you can't really tell, and it's all out of focus as well. So it's passable, right? But let's see the other options that it have. This option look okay, but that doesn't even look like a bin anymore, and this looks distorted. Again, but if someone was looking at this, they wouldn't know that, right? They weren't on that scene, so they wouldn't even know what this actually looks like. And this one is just no good at all. Let's generate this one more time and see what other options we get. Because I think the first option is fine, but I just want to see if I can make it better, because I know being on the scene, I know it didn't look that way. And I know we kind of created this from nothing, but I'm still trying to see if we could get something better. And I think this option here is much better than the first option that we got. I mean, it's not exactly round, but it looks better. So let's keep that. Now let's do the other side. So we can expand the canvas here one more time. We're going to use our selection. We're going to select a piece of that image. I'm going to go here, and then we're going to go and hit Generative, and then we're going to hit Generate, and let's see what it does. So that's my particular use case in this situation. When a client comes to me and say, hey, we want a horizontal of this particular image because we really like it, but we want something in horizontal so we can put it on our website. So this particular tool will be useful for something like that. All right, so there we go. We have now a horizontal image. And let me just see what the other options look like. Actually, this one looks better. I know there wasn't a pool there. Not that it matters, right? And I don't think the client will question that if that's the case, right? And let's just tick on this one. And this one looks good actually as well. But I think I like the one with the water, even though it wasn't even there, right? I like that. And I like how this tool automatically fills in the shadows and the lighting and everything. It works nicely for all of that. All right, so now let's go to this last image. So this wasn't a recent image that I worked on. This was in a studio, and it was a nice little silhouette image, and I really liked it, but I wanted to make it more softer. I wanted to add something a little bit more cinematic to it, but it's a studio shot, and the only way that I could actually do that is if I would have shot it outside. So what I decided to do here, I selected our subject. Now this selection of subject, it doesn't do such a great job, and I'll show you that if it actually does it, but I'll show it to you. So once you select your subject, because my intent is to knock out the background, right, to get rid of the background. So let's do it. Let's invert the selection. So now the background is selected. So what we need to do here is hit Generative Fill, and we're going to give it a prompt. Now the prompt that we're going to give it is foggy morning on an island with muted reflections. So let's hit Generate and see what we get. Now this is not going to be perfect because, like I said, the selection of the subject is not perfect. So you will still have to work on perfecting your selection of the subject in order to make this image a final image. Okay, so if you look at this, right, you could see here that, you know, the subject is not selected properly, but it's added that feel and that look that I'm looking for. And you even added the lighting that I had in the image and adding that mood to it. Okay, so let's see what other options this have. So I really love this one. I love how this shaped, you know, basically put her head right in the center here. That's perfect. I love that. I love that symmetry. This one looks okay. Let's if anything, I might choose this one, right? But let's generate one more time and see what other options we get. I did do this early and I got some other options that I also liked, which I might show you those as well. But I didn't get this one before. That one looks pretty cool. All right, so let's take a look here. That's okay. That looks good. This looks good as well. I'm really gravitating towards something like this. But let's go back here. This one I really love. I love this one. So I think I'll go with this one. But let me just show you one that I grabbed earlier. So this one got generated earlier. I really love the feel of this image. It just feels like she's in the clouds, which is totally awesome. And then there was this one here. This one also looks good as well. I just didn't like the fact that it created this pole or whatever is going on here, but you could easily remove that as well. So those are the options that I got from using this new tool that was created by Adobe. And just in conclusion here, like I said, I would utilize this tool to do two things. If I'm trying to fill in resources that I didn't have on the day of the shoot, so that can be hair, makeup, some sort of wardrobe, something that I was missing on the day of the photo shoot, or I can acquire, and I know this tool could actually do it. So in my planning for the photo shoot, I could basically incorporate those options in my toolkit, just like any other tool I would have in my camera bag for the shoot. And then skill. In terms of skill, I know my Photoshop, my post-production Photoshop is not the greatest, right? But I know that this tool now will help me to make my Photoshop skills that much better, because now I don't have to spend hours in Photoshop to do a composite like I would before, right? So this tool really helps with that. So like I said, this is just another tool that you could use as part of your toolkit. So use it, but don't use it in the sense that you want to go recreate or create brand new images. This is just enhancing the images that you have, or enhancing the original idea that you had for your photo shoot. In any case, go have fun with it, enjoy it, and play with it. Ensure that you use it to the best of your ability. Let me see here, did I have another image? Nope, didn't have another image. So that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was helpful to you. If it was, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. Put a comment down below, let me know what you think. Share this video with your friends and family. And guys, if you got this far in this video and you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.